Marshall MG10 versus Orange Crush 12. Picking a practice amp is not just about which brand looks cooler on your desk. It is about whether the pricier Orange, with its 3-band dual gain and bigger speaker, actually earns the extra spend over the simpler, cheaper Marshall for the way you play at home. Pay more, and you might not use it. Pay less, and you might outgrow it fast. Let's make it clear.
So how do they really sound when you're playing quietly in your room? Because that's the whole game here. The Marshall MG10 leans into that classic British crunch even at low volumes. The clean channel is bright, a bit punchy, very recognizably Marshall. Flip to the overdrive and you get that gritty mid-forward bark people buy Marshalls for. The catch? At higher gain settings, the breakup can get fizzy, almost buzzy, and that's a pattern that shows up across enough opinions that I take it seriously.
The Orange Crush 12 plays a different card. One channel, but a thicker, warmer voice with a chunkier mid-push. The crunch sounds more amp-like and less small speaker trying to be big. There's a review that stuck with me. Someone returned the Orange because they couldn't get a tight, crisp distortion out of it and went for the Marshall instead. That's real, and it lines up with another consistent gripe. The Crush 12 starts breaking up early, so loud, sparkling cleans are not its thing. If you want crystal clean at volume, neither is perfect, but the Marshall keeps cleaner cleans, and the Orange keeps richer dirt. That's the tone split, straight up.
Now, dialing it in, here's where things get interesting for a beginner. The Marshall keeps it simple. Clean volume, gain, overdrive volume, and a single contour knob. Plug in, twist 3 things, you've got a sound. For someone who just wants to play, that's a feature, not a flaw. But it also means when the tone isn't quite right, you don't have many tools to fix it.
The Orange Crush 12 gives you a real 3-band EQ. Bass, middle, treble, plus separate gain and master volume. That's a much bigger sandbox. You can actually carve out fish the mids for leads or roll off treble when single coils get icy. The trade-off? A beginner can absolutely get lost in there. One owner said it bluntly. This amp has a distinct voice and rewards tweaking, so a total newbie might struggle before they land on something they like. For me, the Orange is the better learning tool long-term, because EQ is a skill you'll need on every amp you ever own. The Marshall is the better plug-in-and-forget box.
Speaker and fullness. On paper, the Marshall has a 6.5-inch speaker, the Orange a 6-inch. Tiny gap, but the perceived sound is different. The Marshall feels a touch more open in the upper mids. The Orange feels denser, thicker, more wood and glue in the low mids. Neither is going to give you real bass. Physics is physics. These are small speakers in small boxes. People who own the Crush 12 do mention it can sound a little boxy and thin in the low end, and the Marshall gets the same complaint about feeling small. Honestly, at bedroom volume, the Orange sounds bigger to my ear, based on how consistently people describe its body and warmth. If fullness matters to you when you're staying home, the Crush has a slight edge. If you want clarity and snap, the MG10 holds its own.
On pedals and versatility, the Crush 12 is the friendlier platform. That 3-band EQ and stronger clean structure means overdrive and delay pedals sit in front nicely. The Marshall takes pedals okay through the clean channel, but its built-in overdrive is the part most owners end up bypassing with an external pedal anyway. Neither has reverb or effects built in, which is the one feature both could really use.
Build and noise floor both feel solid for the money. No plasticky horror stories. The Orange has that famous tough Tolex and built like a brick reputation, and people back that up over years of use. The Marshall is reportedly quiet at idle, which is nice, though a few owners mention some hiss when the gain channel is cranked. Standard, small, solid-state behavior. Nothing alarming. On portability, both are light, around 4.7 to 4.8 kilos. Easy to carry one-handed, and they fit on a desk or shelf without taking over the room. Apartment-friendly, dorm-friendly, done. Price and value. They sit in a similar range, with the Marshall typically the cheaper of the two, and the Orange asking a bit more. The MG10 gives you 2 channels, an aux-in for backing tracks, and a headphone jack with speaker emulation. Genuinely useful for silent practice. The Crush 12 skips the aux-in, but counters with a cab sim headphone out that sounds more amp-like in headphones, plus that fuller EQ and stronger core tone. The Marshall tends to drop in price more often on Amazon and during sale events. The Orange holds its price more steadily and discounts less aggressively. So you're paying more upfront for the Crush, but you're paying for tone shaping and a thicker voice, not just a logo. Here's the call. There's no single winner, and I won't fake one. The Marshall keeps cleaner cleans and that classic British bark. The Orange brings a thicker voice and real EQ to grow into. Different tools, different players. If you want plug in, twist 3 knobs and play, get the Marshall MG10. It's the easier, just sounds like an amp box. If you care about tone shaping, pedal friendliness, and a fuller voice at bedroom volume, the Orange Crush 12 earns the extra spend. The Marshall drops in price more often during sales, so if budget is tight, wait for a dip. And you, Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below with the current price.